morning, everybody. Whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world, this is Coast to Coast. Got everybody in the house for the last time probably this year because Stat Guy's running away. How's it going, guys?
It's going.
Where's he running to?
I have 5 Christmases starting tomorrow. One each day.
5?
Yep, one each day through Sunday.
What are you like, Jewish? That's like holidays.
I was going to say you got to go through 7. It's the 7 days of Hanukkah.
And then next Monday through Friday I'm in Chicago.
Yeah.
Well, whoop-de freaking do for you.
I mean, you can't be mad, Jay. You're also running away.
I am. Run away.
Yeah, like we do like my grandparents Wednesday, my wife's grandparents, my parents Christmas Day, and then we do her brother's side of things on Saturday, and then we'll do my brother before he goes back to work on Sunday.
My problem though is that my family runs just as fast, if not faster than I do. I can't run away from them. They seem to congregate in this house every damn year. Not that I'm a Christmas Grinch. I'm not a Christmas Grinch, but good God, man.
It's because you keep talking about, having the bed and breakfast, and they're like, challenge accepted.
Man, and they do too, man. And they really do use my...
Does Randy Quaid show up too? Does Randy Quaid show up in the RV?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're talking about Cousin Eddie? You're damn right. Cousin Eddie definitely shows up at this house.
If that's the case, I'm showing up.
I will not, David.
No, if he's showing up, I just want to see this happen.
Oh, Bo. I'm telling you, man. Listen, Melanie's side, I'm telling you, they're all from West Virginia. You'll see some stuff. I mean, you will see some Cousin Eddie stuff for real. Oh, it is entertaining. I will give you that. It's entertaining.
Do you remember when ginseng was a thing?
I do.
Yeah.
They have ginseng up in the mountains where Melanie was.
West Virginia makes the best ginseng. And I'm not exactly sure why that is. Something about the way that the atmosphere in the mountains right there, they actually grow it on top of their houses.
Yeah, Melanie grows on top of the root cellar.
Yeah, that's exactly correct. And it's the best ginseng in the world comes from West Virginia.
The problem is people are stealing the damn ginseng. They're not even being cool about it. Like, okay, pick some ginseng. You're not gonna do it, but they're taking the whole plant, and we take the whole plant. It's like, what are you doing? You're killing it. So that's the problem they're having up there. Is people are trying to steal it.
Well, they steal the whole plant because then you can't. You got to start fresh again and grow it again, and they get this because in West Virginia it's like distilling. You know what I mean? Yeah. They want to break your distillery. Yeah, you're still so that they get all the business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, hey, that Hatfield McCoy, that's some real stuff up in there. That really is that's some real stuff. Dustin, they would take you out, Dustin. You wouldn't last long. That pretty little baby face you got over there, you wouldn't last long.
See, the best thing for you to do is to be a ginseng broker. So that you're the one making the deals for everybody.
Yeah.
You ain't making it. You're selling it
for sure. And I wonder what that commission would look like too.
You get 10% off the top.
Hell yeah!
How that works? That's how it works.
You're
selling it 10%.
Damn right.
Bringing in your briefcase, and you're like, "Look, we've got ginseng."
We got ginseng, we got moonshine, we got what else do they do over there that's really good? Like West Virginia is like a hub and for very weird things. It's one of the reasons why it's got one of those funny arms, actually, because one of the funny arms of West Virginia, when you see it, it kind of looks like this weirdo state.
Tentacles off of it, yeah.
Yeah, but it's because of either distilling rights or ginseng rights. Or like one of these other things that the states around it don't allow that to happen the same way West Virginia does.
Oh, I just figured it's because they were coked out and couldn't draw a straight line.
That could be
Hey, that looks good enough. Just leave it alone. That's a damn Picasso.
And all the states around it, they're like, yeah, you know what? Fair enough. You just stay over there.
Hey, but I will tell you this: the guy that made Colorado, now he was on point with them straight lines.
Well, and Colorado has got Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, and Nevada, right? That's got the one spot where you could stand in 4 states at one time.
Yep. 4 corners.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
they have a little placard that shows the line.
Yeah.
exactly. So, anyways, they announced the Pro Bowl picks.
Okay.
Sweet.
Okay.
I only know the Eagles. I don't know. I figured there was no Cowboys that made it. Well, probably Dak.
George
Because
Pickens.
he's number 2.
George Pickens got it.
Yeah,
they-
I would assume Pickens would have. Yeah.
Hey,
Pickens
Williams has over 1,000 yards. Williams has actually got. He's actually been really the star.
Yeah,
of
but
our
when it comes
program.
to running backs, I could see them choosing other ones. Like-
CMC got it, and I believe I don't think Saquon got it.
No, Saquon did not. Here are the Eagles that were chosen. Linebacker, the only starter that was chosen
Gibbs and CMC are the running backs. Jameer Gibbs and CMC.
was Jalen Carter. He was the only starter that was chosen.
Really?
Zach Bond,
Okay.
Cooper DeJean, Cam Jurgens, which is a surprise to me a little bit, and Quinyon Mitchell. Now, Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell are no surprise. Out of the top 4 cornerbacks in the NFL, all 4 of those cornerbacks are part of 2 teams, the Eagles and the Broncos. So Patrick Surtain, it goes Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell are 1 and 2, and then Patrick Surtain and is it McNichol or McNaismith or whatever his name is over there are the 4 cornerbacks top in the league.
So Cowboys had 5: Prescott, Pickens, Tyler Smith, Brandon Aubrey, and Kenyon Williams.
Okay.
Those are the ones that made it.
So we have Darnold made it. Marcus Lawrence, Rashid Shaheed, JSN, and Devin Witherspoon, and Leonard Williams. So we got 6?
I'm sure Justin Jefferson made it just
Nope,
on
he
merit alone.
Nope, he did not.
It says he did.
Well, because what I have here for the NFC, they have Puka Nacua, George Pickens, JSN, and Amon-Ra St. Brown as the wideouts.
Yeah, but those are just the 4. Then they have
the second.
backups.
So then he probably is going to be the only one then from Minnesota that gets in.
Say
Maybe.
like you mean it, Dustin. The only one.
Well, it doesn't matter. He's a Bears fan now.
He doesn't deserve to be the
That's
only one.
right. I forgot. Dadgummit.
Neither does Saquon Barkley. However, Saquon Barkley, I bet you over the next 2 weeks will get over 1,000 yards. Like he'll make it over 1,000. I think he's like 200 away or so.
Yeah, according to ESPN, Minnesota has 0 Pro Bowlers. And this is as of 8 minutes ago. Minnesota has 0 Pro Bowl selections.
I wonder if he declined it.
Because the Jets have 0. The Jets have 0, which that doesn't surprise anybody. The Vikings have 0. The Saints have 0. And those are the only teams that have 0. Those 3.
Interestingly enough, I'm surprised that nobody from the defense on the Saints. Saints have actually had a respectable defense.
Chris
Yeah, I mean, they've
Olave's had
lost
good
a lot
year.
of games, but
Chris Olave's had a good year too. Like Chris Olave could have got in as an alternate.
well, and they probably will. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't make it now, and they choose a tremendous amount of alternates. This is why I feel like that they really should switch this to a 4-team situation.
Mhm.
And it's going to be interesting this year because they are having the Pro Bowl happening in the convention center where they're having media row and such.
Mhm.
So it's going to be a lot of fun to be there. Like I'm going to be part of
Oh,
that
that's
whole
right. I
situation.
forgot there was overlap this year. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so the Pro Bowl is actually on Tuesday,
Yep.
Yeah.
which I kind of like. You know what I mean? Because Monday is media day for the Super Bowl players.
Yep.
And then Tuesday now is the Pro Bowl.
hmm
Wednesday is the awards.
Yep.
And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday become whatever. But I like the fact that they have all the Pro Bowlers in the same place now as the Super Bowl, because
Yeah.
now you actually get more players walking around Media Row. You don't have to do that and all that other stuff. We're going to get to that in a minute, Brad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of like that. And it's going to be interesting. I'm going to have a much better setup. And if Bo feels like driving down, I might be able to even sneak him in there to kind of, do a show right from Media Row. I'm going to have like even a small staff, very small, one person that's going to have, well, two people that are going to help grab people to interview and such. And
Nice.
one of the interviews I would like to do is I'd like to interview Roger Goodell, and I'd like to mention my idea so it becomes his idea so it gets done. Because I really think that the NFL could do something. Not that the NFL needs to do anything that I said, but like I said, I've been talking about this on this show for 3 years now. How you could have 4 fans throughout the NFL be the coaches and do a small draft. Imagine on that Sunday having a small draft where you only pick 32 people. You only pick 8 people, and then everybody else gets dispersed so that nobody gets the last pick. But you could invest 2 hours with 4 fans and
Like
then
what?
give
Super
each one-
fans? Like 4 super fans or what?
no, it doesn't have to be super fans.
Just fans
they-
in general.
Just fans in general. I mean, you could probably equate it into the whole NFL fan of the year.
Right.
If you wanted to do that, and just say, okay, these are the 4 best fans of the year. They get to do a draft, and you get the moment that Travis Kelce retires, you could have both Mannings and both Kelce's be the assistant coaches.
That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And have a draft where you get to choose 8 players or 10 players. So it's 40 people getting drafted. There's a lot more people that are in the Pro Bowl because of this, though, because you're going to have it should be 7-on-7. You're going to have, obviously more than 14 people. You're going to probably have, say 28 people per team. So that's 56. That's 112 people that are Pro Bowlers. Now, I don't know if they'll do it like that because that means a lot more bonuses are getting thrown out per the teams. But teams like to have Pro Bowlers, right? Isn't that part of that?
I mean, it sounds good. Yeah. It doesn't mean what it used to for sure, but they still have that as a badge of honor. Now the only one that really matters when it comes to
It's the All-Pro,
is the
second team and third team.
Yeah.
First, second, and third team.
The Pro Bowls, when they talk about getting into the Hall of Fame, stuff like that, they still take it into account, but it doesn't have the weight that it once did. And Brad, just to answer your question here, Josh Allen has a foot injury. I can't imagine it's going to make him not play.
Yeah, I can't either.
Especially knowing like what's at stake this week and where if the Bills cannot win the division, but at the same time, these theoretically could be the final 2 games ever played in the stadium.
No, exactly.
That's something that's not going to keep Josh Allen off the field. Like these are the last 2 games that might ever be played there. He'll go out there unless he physically can't walk.
So
I thought that the Eagles got the last game, and then I come to find out they're playing the Jets.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't matter. I'll be in row 1.
there you go.
You gotta at least do a video at Bills Mafia if you can.
Oh, I love doing. I have an old video. If you go back into the annals of the Philly Sports Guy on YouTube, I had a show that I would do weekly, which would be opposing fans interviews, where I actually, when I was last time I was up in Buffalo, I interviewed all these fans and a lot of super fans and stuff like that, and I asked them, what did they think the score was going to be, and I heard at least 2 times, and it may have been more, some number to 4.
How does that
like,
happen?
4?
You can get 2 safeties?
4? That's what I would do. I'd be like, 4? 36 to 4?
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Hey,
That's
but
funny
if that
shit.
hits, you're gonna be like, okay.
That's
Okay.
lots of money. That's lots of money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when was the last time there was 2 safeties in a game?
Came
Yeah, two safeties.
back-to-back
There's
safety
probably,
by the
there's
same
probably
team.
been games where there's been
It
2
could be
safeties.
it could be a safety and then like an extra point return.
Well,
When
could
was the-
be.
when
That
was the
could
last
be.
time there was
Something
2
like that.
safeties by the same team?
It had to be 2 extra point returns then.
No, because if
No.
you return an extra point, if you block it and return it all the way back the other way, it's 2 points.
Oh, it's just 2?
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
2-point conversion.
Got you. Okay.
And it doesn't matter whether they're kicking it or they're going for 2 points.
Exactly.
If you return it, it's 2 points.
The Denver Broncos last had 2 safeties in the same game in 2024.
Really?
And then the
I
Miami
mean, it
Dol-
happens, but they scored other points is the thing.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out the last time a team had like 2 safeties even in the same game to like have that shot at getting 4 points. And then the Dolphins did it in 2017. Those
Yeah,
are the two
I'd be willing to bet that number has never been achieved.
4?
That any number 16 to 4, 21 to 4, anything like that, that is the numerology. That's a
the scoregami.
scoregami, correct. Every 4 number is definitely a scoregami. We'd have to go back into way back to find out.
Yeah, you would. Gee, that's. But what were the chances of just being 2? I mean, that means your defense is, I guess, really good
Well,
that day.
especially if you're going way back, because the only way to achieve that would have been safeties because all these
Yeah.
other rules hadn't been in place. So you would that would be very interesting.
Yeah, it would be interesting to find out if any football game, I'm talking pro,
Come on, you get the Googler
or
on the
college.
panel. Let's go there,
I
Stat
mean,
Guy.
You can tell. You can tell he is going
crazy.
crazy on this right now.
It says
Has any
it says that the Pittsburgh Steelers won their first ever football game 4-0.
4-0.
Yep.
Wow.
They
Okay.
had all their points on 2 safeties.
Wow, so that did
that's
happen. So 2
crazy.
back-to-back safeties by a team actually did happen.
Well, who knows
then
if they're
in a
back to
shutout.
back, but
And then in a shutout, that's wild.
And then the Dolphins did it in 2017 where they had 2
Ah.
safeties in the same game. The
Hey,
Broncos-
hold on. On November 25th, 1923, the Chicago Cardinals lost to the Racine Legion with the final score of 10-4.
There you go. Apparently, it's happened a few times.
That's
mean, it
actually
makes-
happened in college football too.
It makes sense back then because
Yeah.
it was all running, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
if you were backed up, safeties were a little more common.
It says actually a score of 4 points has happened more often in college football history, especially the 19th century and the early 20th century, when scoring rules were different. For example, an unconverted touchdown was worth 4 points from 1883 to 1897, and field goals were worth 4 points from 1904 to 1908. The last time a major college team scored exactly 4 points was Iowa's 6-4 victory over Penn State, October 23rd, 2004.
wow, that was a baseball game.
Right?
Yeah,
when
but
the-
that makes more sense, and that makes more sense because of the 4-point field goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's that was the one thing that I was a big fan of with the XFL,
Yes.
where you could do the 2-point, the 3-point, and the 4-point extra
Mhm.
point.
Mhm. I'm surprised somebody doesn't bring that back, or at least try to incorporate that into the NFL, since they have taken a lot of the old XFL rules and kind of incorporate into the NFL, like the kickoff rule and things like that.
Well, that one probably, because at what point? See, I think as more as you get the 9-point disadvantage,
Mhm.
like there hasn't been many games where 9 points makes the difference. So if you see a lot of those in a couple of seasons in a row, they'll start to consider those extra opportunities. I also kind of feel that if you were to line up for a 2-point conversion and did a one of those drop kicks like they used to have,
Yeah.
like the last one that was done by Flutie, that they give you 2 points.
I have a feeling
I think-
I think a 4-point field goal is coming too in the near future. When you look at how strong kickers' legs are right now, I think a 4-point field goal is coming in the near future.
Did you see the Chargers guy? Was it the Chargers?
The Jaguars
I
guy.
know,
that made a
Jaguars.
73
Jaguars
yarder
made-
that he cleared it with ease from 73
Oh, yeah.
yards in warmups.
Yeah.
Wild.
Now I don't know if that would play. Like you would have to do that straight on a, the punt when you're doing that because of the trajectory. It was way too low.
Well, yeah,
I
'cause
think
you
that
don't
would have
want
gotten
to-
blocked.
Yeah.
So you would have had to do that on the fair catch.
It'd have to be one of those free kicks.
So, but I mean, he made it with like 4 or 5 yards to spare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I think a 4-point field goal is coming in the near future because these kickers are just going to keep kicking it further and further back. And like you see it with Brandon Aubrey now and some of these kickers now, like the target line isn't the 35-yard line anymore. The target line is like the 46, 47-yard line. And they're
I
lining
don't
it
know.
up.
I think maybe they rework their ability to have the ball all year, right? Kind of like when baseball changed the juiced balls. They're like, okay, like this is a little out of hand. So I bet they make it so that you can't work the balls the way that they have been. Because
Well, it's one of two ways that they could go. They could do it that way, or they could go if you are on the other side of the 50 when you kick the ball. So if you're doing a 60-plus yarder, that it would be a 4-point play. And the reason why I think that that's actually a thing is because we want you to kick this field goal because now the defense or the turnover on downs is on your side of the offensive side of the 50.
Yep.
So it would actually make for, you don't see a lot of people going for 60-yard field goals right now. You don't see
this
that.
year.
Well, you do, but it's at the end of a half or a game. You don't see it during the middle of a game.
Unless
Right.
you're Brandon Aubrey.
Yeah, then they're like, hey, you know what? We made 15 yards on this drive. Go kick a field goal.
I mean, I see a 60-yard if you're in desperation mode, you know.
No, like the way that they're kicking the ball now, there is a lot more 60-yard attempts than there ever has been.
There has been 10 made kicks of 60 yards so far this year. Brandon Aubrey has made 6 of them for the Cowboys.
How is it just automatically people are starting to kick further now? Is that just the way they're weightlifting now, conditioning,
No,
supplements?
It's the ball.
It's the ball. They in years past, they didn't get to work the ball in the way they want, right? They were
Right.
basically they had a certain number of kicking balls that the league held on to, and now they get to have these all year.
Yep.
So they get to work them in exactly how they like
They
them.
get 1 week with them. Let's be for real. They get 1 week. They get a lot of those balls.
Well, they don't have to
And-
turn them into the league though.
No, but they get opened up. So they're stored right now, and they're stored in containment.
Yeah.
You can't break that containment till that week.
Yeah, but
So-
it used to be that. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. But yeah, no, it used to be that they didn't really get to do anything with them.
Right.
They had 3 days.
Yeah. And
Yep.
the thing with Brandon Aubrey too is not only has he made 6 60-yarders, but he's attempted 8 of them. So he's 75% on kicks over 60 yards, which is absurd.
And don't get me wrong,
That is
the
crazy.
legs are stronger than they used to be because we were seeing
Right.
longer kicks even before the ball changed. So, it's not to negate any of that. Like the length is getting longer.
When you say they're working the ball, what exactly are they? I mean, what are they doing to it? Just by pressing on it, what does that do to the ball?
No. What they're doing is so each ball's got dimples.
Right.
If you were to sand it, there's no dimples,
Right.
and now it's less. It's more aerodynamic,
Mhm.
and it's amazing how much that dimple makes a difference.
Right.
It's why when you would have a football that was an older football and it became slick, you could
Right.
kind of throw it farther and stuff like that. It would be
Right.
harder to hold on to, but
Right.
it would be able to go further. And that's the aerodynamics of the ball itself.
Right.
Right.
Okay, I see what you're saying because it takes the drag off of it.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay. Interesting. And I guess if you're in New England, you can deflate it a little bit.
That would not help you kick it. You'd actually want it overinflated.
Oh no, that was a reference to Tom Brady, but it's okay.
Oh, I know where you're going, but it would not help this particular.
No.
And interestingly enough, they were also using physics, because it's like we've gotten the real, because they would get tested and you test them in warm.
Yes.
So you'd fill them up, you'd have them tested in a warm room, and you bring it outside and that air compresses.
Yep.
It's like the reason why every once in a while you'll go outside and it's cold outside and your tires are flat.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because the air pressure, the air condenses when it gets cold, especially in a flash cold. It probably happens a lot more in Green Bay than it does in Houston. That all of a sudden you have a flat tire and you're like, well, I didn't do anything, and that's just because the air all condensed, and now you don't have enough air pressure in the tire. All physics. We're teaching physics here.
Physics today.
Yep. Yep.
For knowing that. And that's true though, because even like in my car, I'll see where you get that one tire that kind of goes down a little bit in pressure in the wintertime, but then it inflates. If you drive it for a little bit, it'll go back up a little bit too. I've seen.
Yeah, well, that's
because you're warming up the tire.
Right.
As the tire's friction actually heats up the rubber. That's also the reason why, and Bo could probably speak to this, when you see NASCAR drivers before they start a race and they're doing their pre-laps, you see them going back and forth. They're warming the tire.
Yep. Scrubbing the tire gets the pressure where they want it. Absolutely.
Interesting stuff. All those things that you didn't think actually dealt with sports all comes into play.
I don't recommend doing that in normal city streets. You may get a DWI. Just leave that on the track.
Hey, just like for instance,
you never know.
When I shave my head and I run a 100-yard dash, I am 0.3 seconds faster than if I have stubbles.
And that's not true, Jay. I do that on my Rocket, my bike. I'll scrub the tires because it heats the tire up, makes it so it sticks in corners better.
You hear that, Seattle Police Department? Don't arrest Bo. He's just warming up his tires.
That's that's most Rockets, actually. Yeah. You'll see them do that because we're not trying to die in a corner.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you don't want it to kick out.
No, it's a little exciting when the tires decide to not grip anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it is exciting.
And that amazes me. Like, obviously, I don't even know how to ride a bicycle, so trying to ride a motorcycle is not in my wheelhouse. But when you watch them speed racing bikes, and they're down, and that's why they have the knee pads and the side pads, and their hands have like the hard grips on them, I guess, so that they can actually touch the ground and kind of hold them up and stuff like that. That's, some things I can just envy and be happy that I envy, and that's it.
Yeah, I would want to.
I broke a peg in a corner before. So I get all the way over.
Oh, does that mean that you go sliding into the hay?
No, but it was not an enjoyable corner. I didn't wreck, but it was that pucker moment. You're like, oh, I'm gonna die a little bit.
Yeah, because the hard part about that is that when you come up out of it, now you're shaky.
So there's steering stabilizers, so you don't have that. But the problem is when my peg hit, I hit it hard enough that it broke the peg off. So one, I didn't really have anywhere for my foot to be anymore, and it made the whole back of the bike jump. So halfway through the corner, I only had a front tire on the ground because the back tire jumped when the peg hit.
I feel like they don't teach that in motorcycle safety course, Bo. You must have been absent that day.
They teach that.
And then at the end of that, so once that's done, you have to pit, right?
Yeah, I feel like
you're pitting
if
after
your
that. You're not
motorcycle is-
finishing a race, correct?
Oh, if you were racing, yeah, I did that on a city street. So
Again, I don't think they taught that in motorcycle safety course, Bo. You must have been absent that day.
I didn't take the class. I just went and took my test.
There's your problem right there. Like you have a little bit more information.
You passed the test. Does it matter?
What are you talking about, man?
You're breaking your bike, riding it. You could not have done very well. Now, granted, you did not wreck, but do we really have to be that close, Bo? I feel like you're going excessively fast is maybe what I'm referring to. Maybe they didn't teach that. Maybe they didn't teach that.
Everything they teach you is low speed maneuvers.
Yes, Bo, low speed.
You don't do a lot of low speed maneuvers on a bike. Like one of the elements of a test is you have to make a right-handed U-turn without putting your feet down. You know how many times riding my motorcycle I've ever had to do that? 0 times have I ever had to do that, but it's on the test.
Yeah. That's the one we had to make like the figure 8 inside the box type thing, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of those. There's a speed up and then stop in the box, and like there's a bunch of low speed things. Like you have to be able to go in this little narrow path and turn within the path. Again, none of these things come up. There's also a slalom. That was funny because the bike that I rode, turning the wheel lock to lock, couldn't complete the cones. It's the only thing I got marked down on because by the time I got to the last cone, there just wasn't enough steering radius on the bike I brought. I really needed to do it on like an enduro or something instead of the crotch rocket I was on. They're not exactly made for maneuvering.
I mean, I assume you're not part of a bike group or anything like that, or are you?
No.
So I went to my girlfriend is got she rides motorcycles and stuff like that, and she goes on occasion to some bike group outings and such, and they have like the slowest race where you have to go as slow as you possibly can without stepping down.
Oh, so I'll do that at a stoplight. I'll see how long I can stay on top of the bike without having to put my feet down. That is sheer boredom is what that is. You're just like,
Well, they actually have a race that does that. So when you have to go, it's like I guess it's, we'll say 50 yards. And the one who does it the slowest wins.
Funny.
So, but it's like you're going super slow and you're trying your best not to fall over, and you need to have enough momentum to keep you going.
Yep.
But not enough momentum that you actually win the race, which would lose.
That is hilarious.
So, this same group also has porta body races, shitbox races is what they're called.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That was also very fun.
I always thought it'd be fun to do that race where they don't have the car powered, right? So you have steering, whatever, but you basically start coasting, and then you win by getting to the bottom first. So whoever's using your brake the most loses, right?
Yeah, that's how that soapbox racing.
No. They do that. They do it in cars. So
like real cars?
There's a version of it where they're going down. It's not actually on Pikes Peak, but it's something similar. So there's a lot of corners. So if you aren't really pushing it and you're using the brakes, you're going to lose, right? So you're putting the dynamic of these, excuse me, you're putting the dynamics of these cars to the test because you can't speed up, right? So if you scrub too much speed, you're going to fall way behind. So it's a time trial. They're not door to door.
Right.
They're not door to door.
No, because they probably wreck.
Yeah.
That being said, we should talk about the DK suspension here. So we all speculated that it'd probably be a game. So it ends up being 2. Cost him 2 game checks, which means that is $555,000. So $500,000 to grab a hold of a guy.
Right.
That's very smart.
Now there is more video starting to come out, which you knew there was going to be, of cell phone video that was around the guy. You can't hear him use any of the words that DK claimed he did. And he put out an official statement saying he didn't. And this is absolutely going to get litigated now. Defamation of character, right? If he didn't say it. And I would bet that the one that I saw this morning is probably not the last cell phone video we're going to see pop up. If it turns out he didn't say that stuff,
that all he did was use his first name.
He used his
legal name, whatever.
His full name. So middle name too.
Yeah.
But
actually, his DK goes on one name. It's Decarius.
But he used his middle name also.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
So, but in any event, like, if that ends up being the only thing, this is way more damning than if he actually said some racial slurs and whatever. Obviously, it's still not okay. You're still getting sued. You're still getting suspended, all that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But if it turns out he didn't say it, then
that $550,000 might be going to that guy in court. Here's my 2 game checks for you. Here you go.
I thought it would be more than that.
Well, that's the thing, is it would be way more than that, because now, you end up with this defamation of character suit. He also is having people threatening him and stuff, right? Because you baited a famous person. So this one's going to be very interesting to watch play out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And also, because he can't go to the football games anymore, right? So he got banned or whatever from the...
So it sounds like that's pending. It doesn't sound like that's...
Is that just a pending? Okay.
I think it's going to be dependent on like how everything plays out with it. Like if they find out if it's proven that he didn't say what DK said, he said, well, then the stadium can't really ban him because he didn't.
Right. That's what. Okay. That makes. Okay.
But in the moment though, the moment you have to remove him from the stadium. In that moment though, you can't just let him stay there after something like that happens.
Well, and it does sound like there was a little bit of history. It sounds like this guy targeted DK a little bit when he was in Seattle also when we played the Lions. So interesting. It means he knows he can get under his skin. There's a guy on the panel that I know does that to, a basketball player every time he sees him. So that wouldn't shock me.
And I don't even do anything. I don't even do anything crazy. Russell! Russell! He loves when I see him. But you know what? And it's like, I understand that if he's using just the name and he's not saying any of those other things, because it's going to be hard to prove that. They're going to have to go crazy. And I got to imagine anybody who said anything like that whatsoever is going to be whatever. But if this guy ever messaged him and said certain things or did whatever, I mean, there's got to be more stuff behind the scenes here. So this kid, if he ever messaged DK and trolled him and stuff like that, it could be, that's not going to work in his favor. So.
No. I'm with you there. Like if there's a paper trail of stuff, absolutely. And that's why I say I'll be curious to see how this plays out, just because as we get more and more cell phone video, the cell phones that are popping up are getting closer to the action.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I saw one today. I saw one today that was really close, but you couldn't hear what the guy was saying.
Well enough. Exactly. So, but that being said, I would bet there's a lot more phones that are even closer because you have DK walking over. I bet there's a lot of people that took video of that.
Right.
Not only that, he paused.
Exactly.
He paused as he started to walk and then came over and then grabbed him.
Yep.
And then the guy was like, yeah, I got him. I got him.
Yep. So yeah, no, this is going to be interesting for sure. But again, like, even if he did say all those things, you can't do that. Like, you're letting that guy win by reacting that way, because now you're hurting your team. Now, the 2-game suspension doesn't matter for them anymore because, they basically have already locked up their division. And then he'll be back for the playoffs, so it doesn't really matter. But it still costs you $500,000, and you're certainly getting sued outside of football. So, just dumb to let somebody in the stands rob you.
I mean, it happens all the time. I mean, it's been going on for a long time, right? I remember all the way back to Ron Artest when he had all those issues in Detroit, and he would go up in the stands and remember with the and then I think he also did it in LA.
I absolutely remember that.
Yeah, was it Rasheed Wallace? Didn't he also have another one with the fan? I think.
I mean, there's countless accounts, but every time it happens, it costs you a ton of money. And
absolutely,
pensions and whatever. So since there's history here, it seems like it'd be easy enough to be like, hey, you know what I'm going to do is not walk over there. I did think it was kind of wild. The different angles that you're starting to see is the police officer was there that did nothing. There was staff that was relatively close that did nothing. Even after he grabbed him and kind of half swung through, none of those people did anything. They're all just
not only that. So the other thing is that guy was not sitting in that spot. He came down the step.
Exactly.
So that's another thing that causes a problem. So there should be security at every stop on this there, so that security wouldn't allow that guy to do that, to lean over the thing and yell. That shouldn't happen. It doesn't happen at the Link. I know it did. It doesn't happen at FedEx Field. It doesn't happen in a lot of spots.
Not here in Seattle either. No. Like, we got a lot of staff in the stairways. That being said, that was his section at least.
Yeah.
Right, but that's if he's 16 rows up and he comes down to do that again. And the other thing is that he cheered after it happened. Again, that's another strike against him. So I'm not by any means saying that Metcalf should have, is right in any of this. But I'm saying that if this guy's going for a money train, he's not going to get as much as he wants. I would say that he should probably – the NFL is going to get involved in this too, because this becomes a high-profile case. Yep. And if you start to have guys make millions of dollars from a situation like this, then you're going to have a lot more people trying it. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So
there's no scenario where DK is right. Now, if the guy said those things, I get wanting to punch the guy, and even the guy deserving it, if that's how it went down. But you still can't do it.
Yeah.
Right. But what I'm getting at is that this is probably going to be a settlement out of court.
Of course.
And I would be willing to bet that it's going to be about $100,000. Just my opinion. I don't think it'll be more than that. And
it'll really matter on whether or not there is audio that proves he did or did not say it. Because if they have something that proves he didn't say it, his settlement's going to be much higher, because that's a defamation of character one. And I would bet that there's an extra zero.
So, and the reason why I think that that's not going to be the case Because you're going to say the extra zero, and I understand your reasoning behind that. But what I'm saying is that it'll never make it to trial. So
No, I agree.
and
But I still, that's why I think it'll be that million. I think that'll be $1 million out of court, just settlement type of thing, especially if he didn't say it. Because then if it goes to court, not only are you probably still going to spend that money, but you have to admit the fact that you lied about it.
And nobody wants to admit that.
Exactly. That's the element about it. We'll
so
get
the
you
hard part about that is that you could say that somebody, well, I heard it, and there's enough people around that you can't, it becomes ambiguous there. You know what I mean? It's like if somebody else said it,
Well, that's where it's going to really matter on the other footage that's starting to come out.
Right.
Is if any of those picked up good enough audio to hear what was said. Because the one that I saw this morning, you're like 15 seats away, which is close, but not close enough, right? And so I have a hard time buying that people that were closer didn't have their phones out with DK walking up, just because everybody has their phone in their hand at this point. I would imagine there's still going to be some other footage. But not only that, because he waited so long to walk over there, I'd be really surprised if the NFL didn't have one of their little satellite dishes pointed at him, one of their sound catchers. Because, I mean, they have like 8 of those surrounding the field. I'd be surprised if somebody didn't target that watching him walk over to a fan.
True. And what is his middle name? Like Leslie or something?
I don't remember.
It's a weird name.
Yeah. Like the whole name is a little off.
But what? So he's mad because he used his government name. I mean, I don't get that. Like,
Yeah,
who cares?
he doesn't like that for sure.
It's DeCaitlin Zacharias Metcalf.
Yeah, there we go.
DeCaitlin Zacharias. See, I would go by DZ. I think that
I
would
would
be
go by, I
cooler.
would just go by Zacharias. Zacharias sounds awesome.
Obviously, he doesn't think so.
Well,
No,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know about that. Yeah, you'd have to run better routes, because I'd be like, I'm Zacharias, why you weren't in the right spot.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, oh Lord.
So yeah, no, it's but yeah, DZ would have been kind of cool. At the end of the day,
I guess you go. Then you're dizzy.
exactly. Yeah, true. But I mean, I don't know. I don't see if that's how it started out. I don't see how that's enough to want to walk over there either. Even if you hate your name, like that doesn't make a ton of sense. Yeah, I don't know. Going to be interesting. It is going to be that. Yes.
Beauregard, Marigold,
Exactly.
Couchington the third.
I like it, Sam. I like it.
That's pretty clever there.
Pigs, I know
Pretty clever.
Pigs, I know Jay and Bo and I briefly talked about this before you hopped on, but I gotta say I'm impressed with Phillip Rivers for not playing football for 5 years. Like the guy looks like he hasn't missed a beat.
Yeah, I mean he's
All the way up until that pick six.
Yeah, but that's how he played.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he had like 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick,
71% completion
and like a
percentage.
97 rating. Like that's not
that's
that's not a
serviceable.
terrible day. And he puts up 27 points. I mean, for all intents and purposes, you should win that game.
Mhm.
That defense didn't show up at all.
Right.
I mean, you gave Purdy.
I think
a
just got
5
DeForest Buckner back. I thought that would give him a little bit of a boost.
You give Purdy a 5 touchdown day, like that's ridiculous.
Right.
So it's going to be very interesting to see how. I think Chicago loses against the 49ers. I think that the 49ers, and they mentioned, I don't know if they mentioned this yesterday in the broadcast, but they did mention it I was listening to it on the radio. It's possible the 49ers have their last 2 games at home.
Mhm.
If they win the next 2 games and they win the 2 games in the playoffs, they'll have their last 5 games at home, including the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
They would be the second team in NFL history to actually play the Super Bowl in their own stadium too. So I think Tampa was the first one when Tom Brady
Tampa
won.
was the first and won it.
It'll be the
It'll be the fourth.
It'll be the fourth
third.
time. It'll be the fourth time because the first two won, and I think the last one didn't.
The Rams did it.
Yeah, and so did Tampa.
Rams and Tampa both.
Yeah,
I don't know that there was a third.
Rams and Tampa are the only two teams that have actually played a Super Bowl in their own.
Okay, so the third.
So this would be the
Okay.
third one.
Right. This would be the third time. Yeah, Minnesota could have did it, but they didn't make it.
Yeah.
The funny thing about the Rams, scenario 2 on that was they actually had to use the visitor locker room. They couldn't even use their home locker room because the NFC was slated as a visiting team that year, so the Rams had to use the visiting locker room, as opposed to Tampa got to use their own home locker room, obviously.
Oh, so it was the Chargers that actually had.
Yeah. It was the AFC was granted the Super Bowl that year, so the NFC was the road team, so the Rams had to use the road locker room in their own stadium.
Actually, which also plays a thing because you keep all the nameplates on there from
Mhm.
the Rams, and you have the big Rams logo
Yep.
in the
Yep.
middle of the room. So
I don't know what that feels like. Cowboys have we haven't been to a Super Bowl so long. I just like to go to Super Bowl. I don't know. It didn't have to be in our own stadium. It can be anybody's stadium. I don't care. I just like to go.
Why don't you just go to the Super Bowl when it comes to Dallas?
You shut up.
Then you can see me better before the Cowboys got back.
That's bad when there's people have actually won Super Bowls in your stadium and you haven't even won one. That's terrible.
yeah, AT&T has held more Super Bowls than has
Cowboys have won
Banners.
since '95. Yeah.
Yeah.
because that was still over in at Texas Stadium, was it not?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. So now the Eagles, y'all have 2 right now, or do y'all have 3 titles?
Two.
Just 2 titles. Okay.
What are your thoughts on the Chiefs leaving Missouri?
They're not
They're
leaving
going
Missouri.
across this. Who cares?
but now you're not like you had the St. Louis Rams who were in St. Louis and lost their team, and now you have Kansas City who's been in Kansas City forever, and now they're completely leaving Missouri.
Well, the problem is Missouri is being weird. So they're going to Kansas. They're going to Kansas City, Kansas,
Yep.
rather than Kansas City, Missouri.
Yep.
And it was the same way. I mean, St. Louis has got St. Louis, Illinois, and St. Louis, Missouri. Both were in Missouri. Now you're just going to the other side of the state because of the laws that Missouri wants to enact.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, it's their own fault.
Damn,
Yeah,
I didn't realize.
I mean, St. Louis, at least it was a team that moved there from where it moved back to.
yeah,
So, I mean,
I think Nashville gets a Super Bowl.
They will get a Super Bowl. It'll depend on because that would be the closest to a cold weather Super Bowl that they'll ever do again. And so if they create
so?
a dome, it
You
won't
think
be
so?
a problem. Yeah.
You don't think they would do one in Chicago if Chicago gets a dome?
Oh, Chicago gets
a dome, yeah.
Domes will solve problems. You know,
Yeah.
domes solve problems. So
I heard though that they may be going to Gary, Indiana, to build Chicago.
It's still going to be a dome though, and if you go to Gary, Indiana, you can still do like Meteor and a lot of that stuff in Chicago because it's like a 20-minute drive from Chicago.
Nashville's is a dome.
Yeah.
Nashville's is
I
a
just
dome.
thought that was interesting that they were looking at going to Indiana instead of staying in Illinois to build their
So-
stadium.
It's the same thing that Peg said with the Missouri laws they're enacting. The Chicago government and the Chicago legislature is a bunch of crapheads, and they won't give the Bears the funding to build a stadium in Chicago. Granted, you don't have a ton of room in Chicago to build a new stadium, so they purchased all this land up in Arlington Heights, which is where the horse racing track is. But now Arlington Heights doesn't want to fund the stadium because they don't want all the excess traffic and all the excess people going into an area that is not a heavily populated area.
small thinking is what that is. That's small thinking.
No, it is small thing,
they-
but that's just how they're acting right now, which is why the Bears are like, fine, we'll go look in Indiana somewhere then where people don't give a crap.
Gary Bears.
Sam, it would probably be 29 or 30 before you get one there. Usually they give them a stadium a couple of years to work the bugs out before they throw a
Right.
Super Bowl in it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't stand Vegas either. Like Vegas is terrible.
Yeah, 2029 would be the earliest that the Nashville would have a Super Bowl because you have Levi Stadium this year. Next year it goes back to Los Angeles where the Rams would technically be so the NFC home team, and then goes back to New Orleans in 2028.
Well, how's that even possible? Because why would you have is so in Levi Stadium, which is
Santa Clara.
that means it's an AFC home. AFC's home in Levi Stadium, which makes no sense to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
And then next year the Rams would be home, and then New Orleans, another NFC team, would be an AFC home.
I mean, they're designed to be a neutral site, so I mean, they don't bank on the home team making it.
Right.
I mean, it took a long time for the first one to happen.
Right. Oh, since we were just talking about dome stadiums a second ago, do you think Buffalo gets a Super Bowl now that they're putting in a dome?
I mean, it opens them all. I mean, it's why they're getting domes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Buffalo would need a lot of renovation. So last time and I haven't been to Buffalo in a long time, and I'm about to see it again for the first time in 8 years.
Okay.
So, or maybe it's 6 years. I think it's 6 years. That being said, it's like it needed a coat of paint 6 years ago.
Yeah.
It's so they don't have the infrastructure. Now they have a lot of space, is what they do.
The stadium that Buffalo's played in, they don't.
No, like like the area of Buffalo's got like a lot of space where you could do stuff.
Yeah.
They have a lot more over in Niagara. So you would have to be able to set that up properly so that you could go from Niagara over, because being in Niagara was amazing. You know, it's like I was over there. First off, the falls are better on the Niagara side. Secondly, the restaurants cost the same amount of money, except it's 20% cheaper because it's Canadian dollars. So every steakhouse is the same amount, but cheaper, which is amazing. I was eating steak all the time. And it's more set up for a lot of people, but now you've got the border control for that type of stuff, which is going to be really strict, I can imagine. That being said, Buffalo would need to revamp and restructure and spend some money on hotels and stuff like that before it would be able to get a Super Bowl.
And Donna, yes, I'll be on tomorrow for sure. So that being said, that does get us to the top of the hour. Thanks for playing along. We'll see Dustin next year. Jay, enjoy your Christmas. Of course, Pags.
I might stop in.
Okay.
I probably will stop in. If you're going to be on tomorrow, I will come on.
All right.
Yeah, I will definitely see you guys next Monday. And everybody have a good Christmas, man. And it's a pleasure to hang out with you guys.
Absolutely.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all
A good
night.
That's right.